Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Test Pack Please Ignore. So at the end of my last episode, I had been automating a couple of things. I think I had kind of moved everything else down into the basement. So there's still some things to automate as I get around to it, such as things like centrifuge, smelter, automatic canning machine. I think I will need to automate in a second because that's going to be a part of the industrial electrolyzer setup. Plate cutting machine might have to be automated soon. Assembling machine will definitely have to be automated and sped up with overclockers. So my main aim of today is to automate up my industrial electrolyzers. So I've got two, as you saw in the last episode. I did put the recipe into the system, so it should auto craft in theory. So what we're going to need is some ME import buses, I think. Let's just go to ME. We'll grab some basic import and export buses. So let me grab three basic import buses, and I'm going to need some precision export buses, I think. So we put 3 in there, and where's precision export bus? There we go. Apparently I need, so if we go back to ME, there we go, that's what I need, some basic processors. So let's make 10 more of these. Hopefully they should craft up reasonably soon. What I really need is a crafting monitor as well. How the hell do I... crafting terminal? No, I need a crafting monitor. That's what I need. Can I make one of you at all? No, because apparently I've got like no glass or anything else. I think I'm currently crafting up loads and loads of ME cabling. So let me just see how that's getting along. We're almost done? We're not quite done. I've got things hooked up to the... I realised I've been using this crusher to crush certain things up, and I hadn't realised until recently that it was just the configuration was wrong, and I needed to change the top to like dark red. It all seems to be working now, so that's alright. So I think that's enough ME cable. So let me go here and just tell it to do a whole crap ton of glass. So let's say 64 glass. So is that going to crush this up real quick? No, it's just going to do it one at a time, because, you know, why would it be sensible and export things in stacks, of course. So what do we want? ME... Oh, I do have some ME basic processors now. So let me make this crafting terminal first. There we go. So I can take that back down with me. Clear you out so you're not in the system up here. Really need to remember to do that all the way down my system. Yeah, that one's clear. That's alright then. Because if I walk away and I've left things like, for example, that in there, then I won't be able to find it anywhere else. All this. So what I now need to do is also make some precision export buses. That's what I'm looking for. 2, 3. Now, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to automate this, but that's not the way around I wanted that. Can I put it down like this direction? There we go, that's better. So I can actually see what I'm... So it looks a bit neater. I also need some more marble. I don't like it floating. Marble? I think I need a Project Red one. There we go, yeah, that looks nicer. Very nice. So what I need to do now is figure out a way of putting in cells and all of that jazz into this into these industrial electrolyzers. So let me start off by putting things in the top. I've got to remember how to do this. I'm going to need... Do I need empty cells? I think I do. Let me just have a quick look at bauxite. That's not bauxite, that's what I'm looking for. Bauxite, and then we'll right click on that and flick through to the industrial electrolyzer. So yeah, it's just empty cells. I get hydrogen cells and compressed air cells. So let me have a look at this. So I'm going to need to figure out what direction everything is coming out at. So I'm actually going to wrench them up real quick. So let me try and figure this out. So let's grab some bauxite, I think. B-A-U-X. There we go. Let's grab some bauxite and some empty cells. There we go. And some cable. There we go. That should be fine. Just so I can start hooking this up to my system. So let me just run this around like so. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So we're going to just kind of like connect up around here just so it's all ready to go. Here we go. So what I need to figure out first is whether or not I can import things from the top. So let me try bauxite. So that's going to import it there, which is where it's supposed to go. Excellent. But let me try inserting empty cells. Now, is that going to do it? Can I do this in stack? Oops, stack mode. Okay, so that is working. That is apparently working. Now, I think I literally just want to leave the electrolyzer running, I think. So let me put in... Oops-a-daisy. So with the other one... Oops-a-daisy, did not mean to do that. I need to, like so. There we go. So that's all ready to go there. What I then need to do is grab some ruby dust. Now, I've also got rubies here. Now, I need to automate. I need to automate my production of small piles of ruby dust first. That would also be helpful. So we need to say ruby dust, and we need to say empty cell, stack mode. There we go. So that's going to start processing. Okay, that's cool. We also need import buses as well, don't we? Excellent. That would be a good idea. Basic import buses, 1 and 2. Can I import from this direction? Please say I can. Is that pulling things out? I can't tell. Now, I can't remember if the industrial electrolyzer outputs from the bottom or something like that, which could be annoying. Just trying to remember how the import. Let me try and I don't really want to dig down, so let me wrench you up. So apparently that's not pulling out from there. So I think with the electrolyzer, things get pulled out from the bottom or something stupid like that. So I don't think it's from the top. Let me just try wrenching you up and then putting an ME import bus like underneath, and then we'll see if I can pull out from the bottom. If not, it might require some creativity to rearrange all like the ME import buses and export buses and the power and stuff like that. So that's, yeah, that now says insufficient energy line, but is it pulling things out? It is pulling things out. Okay, that's the main thing. So what I can then do is kind of pull out everything. Let me just make sure everything is finished for now. Where did my Elite Universal cable? There we go, that's where they went. Let me put that back for a second. Let me let that finish off, so it won't be exporting anything else. Take all of you out. So that just started a new process. Damn, that's not what I wanted it to do. So I'm gonna let this finish. Should pull all this out just so it doesn't start. What? Damn, that was annoying. I didn't want it to start a new one, but it just did. So not the end of the world. So I've got an inventory full of crap now, basically, full of guff. So let me wait for this one to finish, and I can wrench him up. Do I have a GregTech wrench on me? I do not. So let me grab one of you real quick. That one, wrench. Any one of them will do. Fantastic. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So have a quick look. So you're done, and you are now done. Excellent. So let me wrench you up. There we go. That's what I wanted. What I'm going to need temporarily is to put this Elite Universal cable like around the back kind of thing. So I need to like come up here. So I'm going to need some more. Can I make more? Do I have any more just in the system? I've got Elite... Oh, I have. Excellent. I've got more Elite Universal cable. That's what I like to see. Making things happy for me. So then what I then need to do is then bring that back around so I can continue on down that wall if I need to. Right. So industrial electrolyzers. Let's start this again. So they will go there as per usual. We shall have the basic import buses along the bottom, like so. Let me just try and figure this all out. Will I be able to... This is the next best question. So let me wrench you up real quick. And you. So... Just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. So I need to connect this ME cabling up somehow. So let me grab some ME cable, and then will I be able to pull that out at all? Will it have to go? I think it might have to go around the front, which, okay, that's fair enough. I would just ignore what I was trying to do and just there we go, that's fine. That's all connected up now. Fantastic. So what we then need to do is make sure that this is hooked up like so. There we go, that is rehooked up. Precision export bus, so drop you back down. You are the wrong kind of precision export bus. I need you, and I need you. There we go, fantastic. And then what we just then need to do is grab some ME cable and drop that down the front so they're both connected up. Fantastic. What's wrong with that one? Why are you not importing? So it's importing the ruby dust, but apparently because I've got all the cells on my person, it's not working. So let me put all of this away. Like so. What I then need to do is also get rid of these different cells. So let me put away... So yeah, I need my Elite Universe, my Precision Export Bus here again. I need my automatic canning machine. So let me fly up. What I then need to do is... Ooh, let's not throw it away. The bus. That would be a dumb idea. Come on. Here we go. So am I on top of my canning machine? That is my automatic canning machine. So I'll replace that with a precision export bus. Whoops a daisy, I'm now stuck. That's annoying. And then what I then need to do is put a hydrogen cell and a compressed air cell into here in stack mode. So that should start processing them. Will that do the same with the hydrogen cell? Or do I have to empty that out with another? No, it will do it the same with the hydrogen cell. Excellent. So that's how I'm going to get rid of those cells so they can be repurposed back into the system. Very nice. I also need to do it with a basic import bus as well. Would also be a good idea so that it is all connected up. There we go. So that is now. So that will now start importing empty cells into the system. There we go. Cool. So that will recycle round. Now, what I'm wondering is, do I need to tell the ruby dust to stop? Do I use ruby dust for anything else with this apart from? So ruby dust. I use it for energirium dust, which I don't think I will be using. Because energirium, you mostly use it for making the glass fiber cables. So how much ruby dust have I got left in the system? Not a whole hell of a lot, because apparently I've already used up pretty much all of it. So what I'm going to do is make a level emitter. That's what I'm looking for, a level emitter. Fantastic. Which apparently I'm missing a redstone torch. There we go. And some more ME basic processors. So let's make 10 of you. Hopefully you'll craft up reasonably quick. What are we missing? So the silicon first. It's fair enough. So as you can see, that is now crafting. So we should, in theory, be able to make a level emitter. There we go. So what I'm going to tell it to do is, I need to hook this up like so. Come on, there we go. Hook that up. I need some ruby dust, if there's any left. Is there any left? Oops, that is the wrong monitor. Ruby dust. No, there's not. So let me go like that. Craft a ruby dust. And then put in here and say emit when levels are above or equal to limit. So when levels are above or equal to 64, you will emit a signal, and then that will be active with signal. So whenever that starts emitting a signal, when it's got 64 or more redstone in it, ruby dust even, sorry, it will start importing into here, and then that will ensure that I've always got 64 ruby dust. Bauxite, I don't care. Bauxite can go swivel. Bauxite is only useful for producing titanium, so I literally just want to use all of that up, as far as I'm aware. Let me just double check. Bauxite dust are useful for anything apart from producing titanium? No. Just as in real life, bauxite is only useful for titanium. So I do need to do one more cyclic assembler for this ruby dust that I've got in small piles. So let me just make a cyclic assembler real quick. Get that set up. Do I have any glass handy? I do. It's just spacking out like hell. So let's make a redstone reception coil. Need to make some copper gears. Some tin gears. And a chest. There we go. Fair enough. So we made one cyclic assembler. We also need, what was it, a schematic? Schematic. There we go. Blank schematic. Can I make one of you? There we go. And we also need ruby dust. There we go. Fantastic. So, what do we need to do next? What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I need to put it down here. I left a gap for it, didn't I? Cyclic assembler. Oh yeah, I'm going to need a basic export bus in a second. But first of all, what we can do is put the schematic in, hit equals, and that will be working like so. So we need another wrong monitor. Let's go back to here. ME basic import, which apparently I'm now missing ME interfaces. Let's make 10 of you, which will probably use up all of my basic processors, as it's got to make the conversion matrix and stuff like that. Let's make a basic. Do I have any left in my system? Hang on. No, apparently I've used them all up. So basic import bus, basic export bus. There we go. Ruby dust, fantastic. Let me just eat some apples. Get cyanide poisoning from all the pips I'm eating, clearly, as you don't see me getting rid of anything. So let's get rid of you, like so. And then we also need a basic import bus. That'll be along the back. Basic export bus. So pop, oops a daisy, pop the basic. Jesus Christ. Let's pop you off. Basic export bus goes on top. Basic import bus goes along the back. We then need to do the configuration. So on blue on top, horizon back. There we go. And then I want you to import ruby dust. Small piles of ruby dust even. Come on, where the hell did that ruby dust go? I threw it away. And then I threw it on the ground. And it appears to have disappeared. That's really annoying. That's 16 ruby dust that I no longer have back. That's really annoying. At least it's creating ruby. Oh no, there it is. It's just appeared in my inventory. Never mind. So we are making ruby dust. Fantastic. Hand over fist. And once we've got 64, so let me have a quick look. Oopsie daisy, wrong one. Ruby dust. So as you can see, it's starting to mount up quite quickly. As it gets exported, we're making ruby dust, so 4 at a time. So that should give us 250 or so ruby dust, which is quite nice. How are we doing? So we've got ruby dust coming in. Once we get over 64, you should see it pretty much staying constant as it gets exported into the industrial electrolyzer, in theory. Come on. There we go. So did I just get exported? Oh, it exported as a stack. Oh, whoopsie daisy. So I want to change this back to move single items. So let me take all of that out. Whoops. That was a problem. I needed to set that back to stack mode because basically as soon as it saw 64, it's like stack place. So now what I've done is I've put it back on as single items. So it will only export single items at a time as it gets over 64 ruby dust. Don't forget to make that mistake, everybody. So let's go back. Yeah, as you can see, it's now keeping a nice 64 ruby dust in the system. Fantastic. So that is that part automated. So we're now automatically producing chrome and titanium. I do still need to make one more blast furnace so that I can put in chrome and titanium into a blast furnace, and then I also need to overclock these. Now I don't know whether to. Is there anything else I can do? Let me have a. Oh, I can still automate ruby dust. There's one more thing I want to do with rubies, and that is to. Do I use anything else with rubies? Let me have a quick look. So, that's the wrong one. But which one's that one? Project Red rubies. So Project Red rubies. Are these used for anything else apart from making maybe magical seeds? I should probably do that at some point. Make more rubies that way. Or I can also do it with bees as well, which I will probably get around to. So we've got rubies. You can macerate them up. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that I need them for apart from just crushing them up. I need to make them into blocks of ruby, so I want to keep a certain amount around. So what I'm going to do quick. How much chrome have we got at the moment? 132. That is not bad at all. I must have quite a bit of titanium as well. 637. Very nice indeed. So we go to ruby. So what I need to do is I need to start a nice little chain here. So do I have ME interfaces? I do. Excellent. So let me go back to ME. I'm going to need a couple of basic import buses, a couple of precision export buses, I think. No, I need at least one precision export bus. Let me craft 10 of you up. What are we waiting for? Silicon. So that's fair enough. That should not take that long. How are we doing? So it's just making silicon for me right now. There we go. That one was done? What are we waiting for? Come on. There we go. ME basic processor. That's what I'm looking for. So fantastic. Where the hell did my other ME? So I need you. So what I need now is a unifier, because you can't crush these up in like pulverizers and stuff at the moment, because it's, I don't know why, it's just because it comes from Project Red. The only way that I found to do this is from, if I make a unifier, so can I make you real quick? What am I missing? Plastic sheets. Can I make more of you? I can. Excellent. So plastic sheets, a redstone comparator, which I need 3 redstone torches. It's not exactly a problem. There we go. And a factory machine block, and I have some spare of them. Excellent. So need a unifier. I've got one upstairs, but I'm going to use this to I can't remember what I'm unifying. It's steel, that's what I'm unifying. Something to do with like Tinker's Construct and GregTech not playing nice together, so you need to use a unifier to do this. But I'm going to use this to work on the rubies as well. So what I'm going to do is use a unifier for that. And then what I also need is, do I have a spare pulverizer in the system? No, I do not. So let me make a pulverizer up quick. Pulverizer. Here we go. So I need a piston. I think I've got them in the system. Where's glass? Give me glass. Show me glass. There we go. Machine frame. Flint, copper gears, 1, 2, there we go. And a conductance coil, I could do that. There we go, 1 pulverizer, 1 unifier. So this is how we're going to make more ruby dust. So I do have some more elite universal cables, so I can extend this out across very slightly. So what I'm going to do is plonk down my unifier here. Now what I want to do is, I need one more, what's the word I'm looking for? I need one more level emitter, that's what I'm looking for. Here we go, one more level emitter, which apparently needs a redstone torch. There we go. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is grab my precision export bus, wherever you are. There we go. Plonk you down there. Flip you around. Fantastic. Plonk down a level emitter there. And then I want to change that to 128 Project Red rubies. Emit when levels are above or equal to limit. So I want to keep at least 128 rubies in my system. I want to say that active with signal, move single items just to be on the safe side. And then what we're going to start doing is this will start putting in Project Red rubies and outputting these, what are they called? I just realised I need to remove that and put it there instead. There we go, because that way I can now put an import bus on the back. But what I'm going to need is these. It says error, please check. But what these kind of rubies are, while they look like errored things. So let me grab a basic import bus, put you along the back, and then connect you up. There we go. That's going to start importing them back into the system. So then what I want to do is, if I grab a pulverizer, place you down, change around the configuration to the way I like it, and then we want is a basic import bus, put that down on top. That's the wrong way around, whoops a daisy. Basic import bus wants to go along the back, of course. I want to be imported. Let me make sure that goes to orange, there we go, just in case. I don't think it's going to produce anything else, but we never know. Put the basic import bus down, and then I want to export all of these kind of errored rubies, because what I can do is I can actually run these through the pulverizer and they will create ruby dust, which is very nice. So there we go. So this is going to keep putting rubies into the system until there's 128 left, which is what I want to maintain, because I'm going to need them for other things, I think. Let's have a quick look at ruby dust. That is obviously grinding them up, creating ruby dust, as I think the cyclic assembler will probably be finished, which it is. So now that is producing ruby dust, which is quite nice. So ruby dust is going in here and producing its more chrome. So I think that is all nicely automated. So I've automated my production of chrome and ruby dust using the chrome and titanium using the industrial electrolyzers. I think the industrial electrolyzers are going to take a lot longer to go through all the bauxite I've got. I've got like 4,000 bauxite to go through. And a hell of a lot of aluminium. We have to figure out where I'm going to smelt that. Might have to be upstairs somewhere. But let me have a look at titanium. So we've got 650 titanium, which is fantastic. And we're producing lots of chrome, which is always good as well, as we need lots of chrome plates. So I think what I will do next week is get another industrial blast furnace finished, get that set up, and then also start to smelt up... like get everything that I want smelting, such as tungsten, titanium, and chrome. So get them automatically smelting, which will be nice. So get them running, automatically processing. And then what I'm also going to need to do is make a load of overclockers. So I'm going to automate the process for making overclockers, because it is it's kind of annoying. So let me go to the overclocker. So the overclocker upgrade either requires these helium or sodium potassium coolant cells, which are a pain in the ass to make. But the easiest way is to make 10k coolant cells like so. But making these 10k coolant cells is a bit of a faff. So what I'm basically going to do is what I'm going to do is grab a like an aqueous accumulator, hook that to a fluid transposer, have cells going into there. So this is all going to be automatically crafted, I think, the way I'm going to work this. So basically I'm going to have a fluid transposer that's going to be full of liquid. That will then what's the word I'm looking for? Overclocker upgrade. So yeah, for some reason these are they're both the same thing, but these are like the GregTech ones. This is the GregTech information, and this is the industrial craft information. This is the one I'm interested in. So basically, it decreases the process time of whatever I'm doing by half, but increases the power fourfold, so by 250%, which I think is fourfold. Or is it 2.5 times? Something like that. I don't know. But it increases the power by quite a considerable margin, but they are necessary for just making sure that you're not using like hundreds of machines to do all of the same process, which you can do with about 20. So they are going to be quite important. I've got plenty of power coming from all my big reactors. I do plan on expanding my big reactors out even further. I might add on like a third one of these huge big reactors, or add on like a load of lava power or something like that. I just want to create more power, basically. Love all the power. So these two big reactors are producing an absolute crazy amount right as we speak, which is quite nice. I can't actually get in here because of the way I've got everything set up. So yeah, these are all absolutely chocker full of energy. Got my turbine, which I probably need to upgrade at some point. It's producing 1,200 redstone flux per tick. I'm fairly sure I can get that a lot better if I use better materials, but it's looking kind of cool at the moment. Might do that as an episode, maybe try and create a really efficient turbine at some point. That could be quite cool. Show you how they're made, because I'm not sure I ever did that on camera. Let me know if I ever did do that on camera, because I don't think I did. So yeah, I'm going to be producing the overclockers. So I'm going to be setting up a little system of, so it'll be like a chain, and then eventually all I'll be able to do is just go into here and hit overclocker upgrade, and it will produce me an overclocker, which is quite cool, which I can then put into a machine. So that will be the plan for the next episode. So I will leave that there for now. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you've enjoyed the episode. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.